Alright, what's going on, guys? Trev back again, here to bring you another video. This one's going to be doing another Q&A for today. In this one, we're going to start with two topics mainly. The first one is going to be the decline in terms of Walking Dead's popularity, and second is going to be the Walking Dead Season 7 premiere being investigated by Ofcom for being too violent. And of course, spoiler warning as usual if you're not cut up for Walking Dead. So going into episode 6, really excited for tomorrow night. Expecting it to be a pretty good episode, but not expecting to see anything absolutely crazy as such with this half season. We've had quite a few episodes now that are pretty good, but not anything nuts happening until probably episode 7, maybe the mid-season finale, episode 8. So the article I'll link for you guys first in the description is from Yahoo TV, and the tagline is Walking Dead ratings fall to lowest in years. So I had quite a few people ask me to kind of comment a little bit further on this, give my thoughts a little bit further on the popularity in terms of Walking Dead and just a big decline. Because with this season, we start off at 17 million US viewers, then it goes to 12 with the second episode, then it goes to 11.7, 11.4, and 11.0 with episode 5, Go Getters. And that is the lowest it's been since season 3. 11 million is they have always been higher than or higher than that anyway since season 3 episode. This Sorrowful Life was a little bit lower than that in season 3. So that is quite the drop, and they have a graph for it as well too. You guys can see the drop from the beginning of the season at 17 and then just this just consistent drop. I mean, this is a tricky one. I got a couple questions here. One was from Andy who said, hey Trev, how can the viewership ratings get better for The Walking Dead? No more bottle episodes and have multiple groups in one episode like Rick and Negan, etc. Do you think Scott Gimple should be worried? Thoughts? And then we had Tyler who said, hey Trev, Q&A, have you checked the Walking Dead wiki recently? The ratings are almost getting down to what they were in season 3. Well, they are actually getting down to what they were at in season 3. The thing is, season 5 premiere, No Sanctuary, is the peak in terms of Walking Dead's ratings, in terms of its TV series popularity. And I feel like with comic books as well, too, I'm not up with all the comic book releases with which position they're in. Of course, sometimes if you have like an issue 100 or 150 and it's a big issue, that issue will do really well. But most of the time, Walking Dead is top 40, top 50, but it's usually not a top 5. It's usually not a top 10 comic book release. TV series is one of the biggest TV shows on cable, and because it's on AMC, it kind of makes it seem even bigger, because AMC, of course, is not a network like NBC or CBC or something where you'd expect it to bring in all kinds of, not CBC, CBS, all kinds of ratings like that, because it's just not one of those big kind of premier networks. So that said, it does bring in crazy ratings for AMC. I'm personally not worried about it. I don't think Gimple or anybody else there is probably worried about it. I think they understand and they know going in. I think it's like a lot of things in life. When you go into certain things, some things you're going to have to put a lot of effort into. Other things you kind of have an understanding that we're going to space things out. We're going to kind of do kind of the regular thing. And sometimes they're going to push it. They're going to go for something really big. I felt like the first half of season 6 they put a lot of effort into the No Way Out storyline. They pushed it to the point where they had thousands of zombies and all kinds of craziness. They really went after it. This season, different story. You have JDM, you have all kinds of comic book moments that are coming through now. Like episode 4, Service had a lot of comic book moments we couldn't wait to see. But yes, they have added a lot of stuff around it, like the Well, the Cell, and Go Getters 2, 3, and 5, which I don't want to say they're spacer episodes. They're important, especially episode 5. You get the reaction from Maggie and Sasha about their losses and everything, and start with Jesus and Carl and the stuff that's going on with him. But definitely they're taking that storyline and they're stretching out. They're using it to their advantage. They're pacing it for sure. Is it necessary so we don't catch up to the comics? Yeah, I think it is necessary, and I think it's a good thing long term. But short term, the ratings are probably going to suffer a bit because you're not getting that kind of pacing where maybe we have episode 1 gets crammed in the season 6 finale, it's a huge finale or something, or okay, you space it out into season 7 so you get a big premiere, and then after that you have, I don't know, something else like with a time skip or something. You cram the Well in the Cell into one episode, let's say. You take Service and you kind of add some things to it, maybe add a whole bunch of zombies and have Negan kill a whole bunch of zombies, and you do all kinds of big things. CG for Shiva must have cost a bit, so maybe that's the reason why the Well was kind of, didn't have too much else going on and nothing crazy or anything. That could be why. But, you have a lot of actors in each episode. You have a lot of different characters and a lot of different things happening. And, it's just a start to a new style of story for the future of The Walking Dead. I almost think of, with The Walking Dead comic book series, because issue 100 is where you see the death of Glenn and the death of Abraham in the TV series version, I feel like that's like the ending of like the start of The Walking Dead. Like that's one section. If you want to break The Walking Dead up into different arcs in that is like the end of kind of the pre-Negan era. After that, you get into kind of like the post-Negan appearance. Now you know who Negan is, and it just changes the whole scale of the story. And as such, it's a new direction to take the show in. It doesn't feel similar to a lot of the previous stuff we've had in the first section of The Walking Dead. A lot of it being very survival horror, sometimes very action-oriented, not always that drama-based. The Walking Dead is a drama. It's supposed to be a drama. But if you look at Season 6, a lot of that is extremely action-based, especially the first half and No Way Out in that. And even, as the groups are fighting back and forth against each other. So, you have a lot of different elements to Walking Dead. Even the most recent episode has some romance in it, things like that. And it's a very diverse series. You got a lot of different things happening in it. But definitely this is a start to kind of the Negan story, and they're taking their time with it. They're taking a little bit of time with it. They're letting us know how the survivors feel in this state. And maybe it's not the most entertaining thing to see short term, but once All Out War comes in, maybe in season 8, season 9, whenever they bring it in, I'm sure that is going to be huge for the for the series. The ratings are probably going to go up again, and it'll look more like probably season 5 or maybe season 6. So second half of season 5 probably 13 million, 14 million. So I'm not worried about it. I think it's just kind of the normal thing after a big climax like that with the premiere. See, this season is weird because it starts with the end. It starts with a climax to kind of season 6. It's like season 6 got pushed into season 7 because they couldn't cram in the Negan killer. They decided not to. And so it's like that's a finale, and so then they start with other things after that. And that's a weird feeling. They did the same with What Happened and What's Going On, which was episode 9 for season 5 with the Tyrese death, and that was a mid-season premiere, and the next episode dropped down to 12.27 million viewers. So maybe you could make the point that after you see a big climax, sometimes, or a really dark episode, really bleak episode like What Happened and What's Going On, or the premiere for season 7, it can turn off some viewers. You could make that argument, and I wouldn't disagree with you. I think sometimes when you have really dark, crazy deaths like that, sometimes it can turn away viewers, or it can make people kind of, depending on how it's delivered and how it looks. Really dark episodes that make people sad could sometimes, I think, kind of ward people off from the show. But I wouldn't worry about it. I'm sure that it'll come back. I don't know if it'll ever be as popular as it was in Season 5. Season 5 may be the biggest season The Walking Dead will ever have in terms of popularity. Knowing the story from the comics, I think there's some better parts coming in Season 5. I think there's some stuff coming that is more entertaining than it. But we'll have to see how the mass, reacts to it and how they interpret it, because the show is not new anymore. It's 7 seasons in. It's not brand new. It's not some hot, fresh kind of trendy thing out there like Pokemon Go was this summer. These things kind of come and go in public interest, fads and that. I don't think The Walking Dead is a fad. I don't think it's wearing out. It really is quality all the way through. But I think it peaked, and now it's kind of come back down again. It may peak again or get close, but I wouldn't be surprised if season 5 goes down as the most popular season of the show in terms of ratings and public interest. In terms of how can the ratings get better, well, you just make more things happen. They're extending episodes, which is great, but they are doing kind of the separated character episodes, which I do think kind of takes away a little bit from the entertainment factor, and people might not be as apt to watch every week and be glued to their set every week to find out what's going to happen next. But it's just a start to something new, and I'm sure the ratings will get better over time once they get more into what's happening with Negan. And the next one I thought was kind of funny, I'll link to as well for you guys, from Digital Spy. And this was sent to me by Simon and Selmo, and he said from Norwich, England, he said, I hope I said that right. Is it Norwich or Norwich? I don't know, whatever. hope you're well, Trev. Please do a video on the recent news regarding Ofcom investigating The Walking Dead, apparently causing outrage because of the Season 7 premiere. Here's the link. So Ofcom is the Office of Communications, some kind of competition authority, government-approved regulatory type of commission, broadcasting, telecommunications, and that for the UK. So apparently they are investigating it, and it says that we're investigating some scenes of very strong violence shortly after the 9 p.m. Watershed, and whether these scenes were justified by the context, a spokesperson confirmed to Digital Spy. There's some things about, did the show go too far, this kind of thing. This is for the Negan kills, right? So this is for the Season 7 premiere that they're investigating it. So hopefully nothing comes of it. Hopefully they don't do anything, because I know that all you guys in the UK would absolutely hate if they did something where they banned Walking Dead, or they tried to reach out to AMC and get them to reduce the violence or do something like that. In terms of the context, I mean, it's what it should be. Based on the comic books, I mean, they delivered it exactly how it was in the comics. Now, granted, the comics have the ability to be even darker than the TV series, and they are at certain parts. There's scenes of rape and torture and things like that in the comics, especially with Woodbury and the Governor. The Governor is quite a bit darker in the comics than he is in the TV series. Quite a bit. Even Michonne, when she kind of attacks the Governor, it's even worse than the TV series. TV series, she stabs him with a piece of glass, and Andrea stops them, which worked out well. I liked it. I thought it was really good. In the comics, it's quite a bit worse than that. Those of you who read, So, I mean, with this one, it's like, is it too violent? Is the Glenn head? They got a picture of the eye pop. So, it's like, is it too violent? Yeah, probably. But I mean, it's the type of show that it is. So if the networks want to carry it, if that's what they want to see, I mean, they've got to be authentic to the world that it's in. And if you try to reduce that with Walking Dead, then you're going to take away from it being what it's supposed to be, which is, a zombie apocalypse, survival, horror type of drama show. So if you take that out, I mean, it's like, what do we have left? It doesn't work. It doesn't work nearly as well as the comics. They've even, Negan can't swear, right? So you got that. He's not able to say the F word. Oh man, I really hope that nothing comes of it. I don't think anything will, to be honest, because it's not. If it was an American commission or something, then it might be something that AMC would have to worry about more. But really, if Ofcom was to do something about it in the UK and about it being shown, it probably wouldn't affect how AMC does the show anyway, right? But I hope for you guys in the UK, nothing happens as a result of it. It probably won't, because yes, it's a brutal premiere, but there's all kinds of stuff on TV that's very brutal, right? I mean, it's nothing different. And I guess if they wanted to censor it a bit and cut the version up and change a few things or skip a few little parts or black it out, I guess they could do that if they really wanted to. Whatever network showed in the UK, I'm not even privy to that. If it's Fox International or whatever. So write your comments below. Let me know what you guys think about that. Is The Walking Dead too violent? Bucket of Eyeballs says, hey Trev, first half of season 7, best episode equals The Well. At least according to him, this is what he's saying. After the intense drama, horrific deaths of Glenn and Abraham, rest in peace, episode 2 was so well placed and a relief from the intensity of episode 1. Episode 2, we get a king, a tiger, and a chilled out Morgan, along with a confused Carol. Do you have a favorite episode from what we have so far for season 7? So that's yours. And you're right, they even changed the order to put that at number 2 instead of number 3, because The Cell, I think, was supposed to be next, actually, and they swapped it. So they did that to kind of give everybody a little bit of positivity, a little bit something different from the premiere, since it was so dark and so bleak. My favorite episode from season 7 has to be the premiere, I think. It does everything it's supposed to do. I mean, if you want to talk about the deaths in that, very brutal, very intense all the way through, very uncomfortable, very sad at the end, and emotionally, I mean, it was a crazy premiere, and I think it worked well that they made us see things from the point of view of Rick. It was even, I think it surpassed the comics, to be honest. They expanded it, so you could say, well, they kind of filled it out a bit, if you want to say that. I suppose that's true, but I still thought that was probably the best episode of this half so far. That's an episode people will probably never forget. In 5 or 10 years from now, when people ask them what's the darkest episode or the craziest episode of The Walking Dead, I think that is it. Prior to that, it'd probably be something like Killer Within. One of those episodes, No Sanctuary, was really intense. But I think the season 7 premiere is probably the most intense episode ever, even though it might not be the saddest. Because seeing things from Rick, Andrew Lincoln's acting after Laurie is killed in Killer Within, that was really, really sad to see. But Maggie at the end and just everything that happened around it and the buzz that was out there was just insane for the season 7 premiere. It's my favorite episode of this half so far. It's dark, but I like dark. I kind of like Walking Dead. I like Game of Thrones. I like dark stuff too. And that's also a matter of taste as well. I don't really like stuff that's too bright and shiny. I don't watch Teletubbies and stuff like that. At least when I was younger, I didn't like Teletubbies. Why did I bring up Teletubbies? I don't know. Anything bright and shiny, I'm like, I don't know. Where's the darkness, man? There's got to be, because that's the way, I view life like that. Like, real life is not all bright and shiny all the time. I mean, at least to me anyway, it's not. People do die, shit does happen, you don't feel good all the time. And sometimes when you have lows, I mean, I think it helps when you think, like, okay, well, if you watch the season 7 premiere of The Walking Dead, I mean, that's a low. You don't want to see a low. That's about as low as you can get. So, so that's my favorite episode. But write your comments below, guys. What is your favorite episode from the first half, season 7 so far, from 1 to 5? Which episode is your favorite that we've seen? We've had some really dark. We've had some lighter. Some kind of mixed with the cell and that. And, so let me know what you guys think. Also, write your comments below about the Ofcom and the popularity declining of The Walking Dead. When were you most into Walking Dead? Write that below as well, guys. Leave me a comment. I want to see what you guys say. For you, what was like the peak in terms of your interest in Walking Dead? When were you really into it more than other seasons? Is it right now? Season 6, Season 5, Season 4, Season 3, Season 2? I know there'll probably be a lot of Season 2 people because that was a pretty emotional part near the end there with Shane and Rick. So let me know what you guys think. Write your comments below. And if you like this video, please don't forget, guys, thumb it up below. Send me questions for tomorrow's Q&A. And share favorites. So for this one, see you guys again soon. It's Trev. I'm saying peace. Later, guys. See ya. Just subscribe somehow.